Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start by calling this third Zoom meeting of the East Hampton Village Zoning Board to order. First, we have to approve the minutes of May 8th, 2020. Does anybody have any additions or corrections? If not, I'd like a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have 5 determinations. I will read the name and address written by our village attorney, after which Ms. Bennett will poll the board. For more information, the complete applications can be found on file at Village Hall when you're allowed to visit Village Hall. The first determinations, we're doing 2 together. It's Zay1 LLC at 19 Chauncey Close and Zon 2 LLC at 23 Chauncey Close. If you remember, this was to remove phragmites and to restore the wetlands. It's hereby granted.
Ms. Marigold?
Yes.
Mr. McGurk?
Yes.
Mr. Hillel?
Larry's on mute.
Unmute yourself, Larry.
Larry?
There he is.
Still muted, though.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, good.
Okay.
Mr. Hillel?
Yes.
Okay, the next one, it's Aberdeenshire LLC, 29 Hunting Lane. This was to legalize coverage, walkways and patios, and that has been granted.
Ms. Marigold?
Yes.
Mr. McGurk?
Yes.
Mr. Hillel?
Yes.
Then we have Brian Francis Watson and Edwina Brooke Lemaistre at 10 Jones Cove Road to legalize coverage and an existing patio. That too has been granted.
Ms. Marigold?
Yes.
Mr. McGurk?
Yes.
Mr. Hillel?
Yes.
Okay, and 117 Lily Pond Lane LLC at 117 Lily Pond Lane. A request to make an alteration to the pre-existing non-conforming residence and to add a cellar stairwell. That too has been granted.
Ms. Marigold?
Yes.
Mr. McGurk?
Yes.
Mr. Hillel?
Yes.
Next, we have an unprecedented 6 requests for adjournment. And as John McGurk says, they're afraid of Zoom. For the next meeting, July 10th, 2020. Is it okay if I do all 6 together?
Sure.
Okay. One is Care of the Maidstone, premises of Lexington Lounge LLC, 207 Main Street. Next, we have Donald R. Mullen Jr. at 67 Cross Highway. James D. Danella at 49 LaForest Lane. Eric and Lori Blatstein at 211 Lily Pond Lane. Justin G. and Elizabeth P. Sauter, 3 Road. And last, the continued hearing of John and Cecilia Ford at 90 Pantago Road. Do I have a motion to accept?
So
Motion.
moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we turn to the new hearings. Next is the application of 7 West End Road LLC. That's at 7 West End Road. And Ms. Bennett, would you please read the application?
Sure. Application of 7 West End Road LLC, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 301-1547 for variances from Chapter 101 coastal erosion hazard areas, and Chapter 124, preservation of dunes, to clear vegetation, import fill, grade land, and plant vegetation. A coastal erosion hazard area permit and variances are required in accordance with sections 101.9B and 101.19 to clear vegetation, grade and import fill, and plant vegetation seaward of the coastal erosion hazard area line and situated on a primary dune. An approximate 80-foot variance is requested from the provisions of Chapter 124 1A2 to clear vegetation, grade, and import fill and plant vegetation at a point commencing approximately 70 feet from the edge of beach grass, where no clearing, disturbance, grading land, or damaging existing vegetation is permitted within 150 feet of the edge of beach grass. The subject property is 154,772 square feet in area and is located at 7 West End Road in Residence District R160. The property adjoins the ocean beach and is located in FEMA flood zone VE elevation 717, zone AE elevation 10, and zone X. This project is classified as a Type 2 action in accordance with CEQA.
Just want to let you guys know we have a caller on the line.
Yes. Can the caller make themselves known for the application? Caller on the line.
Hi, caller, you're on the
Yes.
line.
Letting hear.
Yes, Mr. Ackerman,
Yes, I'm here.
would you like
All right, I'm on. Are you ready? Because it's delayed. I'm still hearing Pam speak.
Yes,
right.
we are ready.
Thank you. First, I want to welcome Phil to the board. Nice to see you, Phil. This application is for a coastal erosion, a variance for re-veg and some fill in connection with the installation of a boardwalk to the cottage that sits within the coastal erosion. We've reviewed Billy Hajak's memo and are satisfied with that memo and the conditions.
You see the rest of the people? Okay. Well, I have to say this is one of those properties that when I read about it, I was alarmed. But when I went over to see the property and I read Billy Hajak's very intensive memo on it, it completely changed my mind on it. I thought that this was a total new build. It's replacing a pre-existing walkway, but making it even more ecologically correct. And Billy, at some point, do you want to read your conditions for approval that the applicant has agreed to?
Sure. So just some background, it's they're importing about 840 cubic yards of clean sand fill material and restoring the backside of the dune with native vegetation. The current conditions, it's a dunescape, but it's full of obnoxious and non-native vegetation. So overall, I think the restoration is a good project. And if the board is ready to approve it, I would suggest the following conditions, which is the temporary use of irrigation only while the plants are established, and then removal of the irrigation once the plants are well established. That it be only sand fill material used in the restoration. That they not mulch it to treat it like a landscape. That it's treated like a beachscape, so they would mulch it with only clean sand. And then project limiting fence be installed along the crest of the dune, so that they don't encroach onto the seaward side of the dune, and to maintain all equipment on the back side of the dune, and that the village be notified before and after the project starts and finishes, so that we can keep tabs on the work that they're doing. So that's it. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to try to answer them.
Are they taking out large plants and putting in little teeny ones for? Or
No, well, they're taking out the larger vegetation. There is some larger vegetation that's being removed, but it's Japanese black pine. Technically, they're non-native. They've kind of they're very common in the dunes, but by strict definition, they are non-native, and they are putting back some pretty mature bayberry, and I believe some cedar trees are called for the plan, and then a lot of beach grass. So it's going to be a more naturalized landscape.
I have one comment.
Sure.
So in the past, the revetment that's out in front of the small beach cottage, the sand has not looked like clean sand. So I would just ask that when they actually do this project, that the applicant is very conscious of what they are placing in there, just as your memo said, because one time it was like a dark gray, and then another time it didn't really match the beach. So I would just ask them to be conscious of that.
Yes. So Phil, that's so when we get notified of the project commencement, we'll try to get out there and look at the material they're using, and if need be, we can ask for a sieve analysis, which is a grain size analysis to ensure that it's beach compatible material.
Great, thank you.
Do you have any other questions? Any comments? Larry?
I'm in agreement.
Who else is sitting on this? Craig's not on, is he?
It'll be the five of you.
I think Billy covered it all in his memo, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right. Are there any other phone calls online about this project?
There are currently no other phone calls on the line.
Okay. Then, is there a motion to close the hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I think this is a new record. 12 minutes is a motion to close the meeting. Motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.